Hello?
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir,
Okay, you will have let me follow. You will have just use the password and the let me just follow to you. Don't worry. My link is the same. My password and my this you will have just use. Nobody has expectation. Okay, if there's nobody, I won't believe that. Well, most of the time, you just need one person to speak. The other person, everybody want to speak. So who break the ground? Who will break the silence? Okay, Dr. Unashuku, go on.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Yes, thank you very much. I expect from this using UPSS module that I would like to know how to use the SPSS mode to be able to perform statistical manipulations and be able to be versatile in it, have a good vast knowledge of the intricacies of using the SPSS, and to be able to perform my data analysis personally without having to seek for more help or to seek for at most little help, essentially.
That's great. Because there's nobody that doesn't need help at one stage or the other. Yes, at least minimal to minimize the help. You won't be dependent on somebody completely. That's great. That's great, Dr. Unashuku. You're welcome. Any other person? Since somebody has broken the silence. Any other person? Okay. So we want to assume that that is the expectation of everybody. Should we assume that? Okay, let's quickly look at what we'll be doing the next 3 days. So we have between now and 8:39, and every day of the 3 days, we'll be looking at SPSS environment. That is when you open it, what the window, the different windows, what do you do with the different icon? How do you define your variable? Because it's just like, variable are characteristics that vary from one subject to the other. The value of variables are data. It's the same thing, the same way it works in the SPSS, in the software, because you have to find your variable, the type of variable. If it is age, why is it different from sex? So you define it. After defining all the variables you have in your questionnaire or proof format, now there's another page where you now enter the data. So all those things you want to say there, how you can enter the data, define and enter in SPSS, how you can import something you have entered in Excel, how you can import. Because virtually many people know how to put something in Excel. Not all, because I've seen some people, they don't even know how to put something in there. And the worst occasion, some people, I've seen one person, that have to send data to me, he wrote in, put in table in Word document to send. The person could not use Excel to put something in Excel. So that's a scenario. But many people know how to do that. Then you can import from Excel. Many people, when they call me and just say, can you put it in Excel? I say, yeah, put it in Excel. Just put it in Excel and send it to me. We'll do the cleaning and every other thing. Then converting data in Excel to SPSS, okay? So that importing, then converting, screening and cleaning data. That one is very, very important. We'll do it here, Then sorting data file. This one is very, very important, because sometimes you are doing the type of study you are doing, maybe 2 groups or 3, more than 1 group. You are not running all the analysis together. You have to run the same, side by side. That is, you are running the same time, but you want the output, maybe urban, rural, private, public. So that is split inside. To do that, somebody has before, analyzed somebody's PhD project, and you enter it separately. Now, there are 2 groups. Enter it to compare them. You enter it separately in separate SPSS and run it separately. But I don't want to be saying, because You look as if somebody is trying to downplay some people. The person that did this is a lecturer in statistics, a lecturer. When you say lecturer in the university, renowned. So the issue there is that that is the problem we have with Africa. We can have some theoretical knowledge. The skill, we don't emphasize skill, and that is what I'm emphasizing here. Skill, knowing how to do something. Then descriptive statistics, that is, even though we are not doing inferential statistics here, let's see if time permits, but it's descriptive, that is so summarize to calculate the mean mode median. Then how do you, for categorical, the pages, so all those things in descriptive statistics, you'll be able to do that with exploring SPSS. Then you explore data for normality. After you have done descriptive statistics, you want to explore data for normality. Is it normally distributed? So that you know the type of inferential statistics you carry out. We'll do that one. Then still continue descriptive statistics. We compute and transform data. What do we mean? Like age now. Age shall come in number, but when you want to put it on a table, you want to arrange it. That is a form of computing. Sometimes BMI, you don't need to calculate BMI and enter into the computer. You measure height and weight and enter it. So you calculate BMI there. You don't need to. Some people will now use to calculate BMI and now enter double, triple, or tetraple wala to give it to yourself. And that one is subject to error also. But when you do it, if somebody that knows what he's doing, nobody has done that before. You say, he has already, done the BMI. I say, who sent you? You just say, I didn't sleep. You know how many days that's your own problem. He said that we will see it. I said, we use it for what? Because the error is there. Because once you have entered the height and weight, the other one, computer will run it. So how do you do that? It's part of computation. You want to transform, if something is not normally distributed, you want to make it normal. It's part of a lot of things we will do. Collapsing continuous variable into group. Okay, I think it's part of what I've said before. Sometimes you may say, especially clinician like something 2-2. That's why you like logistic regression, you like 2x2 table. Though they say it's epidemiologists that like 2x2 table. But the issue is only, even the clinical epidemiology, the clinician, they like discharge, not discharge, dead or alive, dichotomizing things like diabetes. So blood sugar is in form of quantitative variable. You are looking for cutoff just so. Can you imagine somebody has blood sugar 125, it's not diabetic. The person that has 126 is diabetic. Because the cutoff, just anything above that, 126 and above the diabetic, the rest, they're not diabetic. So it's not funny. So we will be looking at all these things. I believe God will help us be able to get, I'll put my best in for you to get the best out of it. I don't know if there is any question. Anyway, you want to ask question on timetable. Do you have question? Because whenever you come for a workshop like this, I want you to get the best. And one thing I like first time, that is the first day, I like it. If somebody come first day, I didn't even come the next. To me, he has not lost much. If somebody didn't come the first day, he's coming the second day. Unless you bring the person to speed, it's not the best. That foundation is most important because you can actually build on the foundation yourself. Okay, no question. Any question? Is anybody raising hand on the timetable? Okay, no problem. So let's quickly. Yes, let's quickly.
I'm sorry, sir.
Go on. Okay.
I've installed I'm sorry to bring everybody back, but I've installed the SPSS. But there's something you said. You should go to folder. Crack folder. Where is that crack folder?
Which folder? Crack folder is the folder where the SPSS is before you start installing. Inside that folder, where you click and you open it, you see crack. You now see the one you install. It's the crack.
Okay, let me do that.
Yes. So because the step, that's why. And many people, since I sent yesterday, people were installing everywhere. So if you follow it judiciously, You must not miss a step, especially the last
Doctor,
one.
ní kí ẹ máa lọ sí lawsuit, kẹ lọ sí emergency wọn.
Okay, so you can mute yourself now, doctor. If you know that somebody is talking where you are, you just mute yourself. That's what you're going to. That's okay. Let's continue. Now, we want to start with SP as my this. I want somebody who is there that who has installed, even among the new one. Dr. Bariweni, you have the SPSS there?
In fact, I'm having the key. I couldn't get the key, so my staff is helping me.
You didn't follow.
My staff is trying to help me to
Don't
install.
worry.
I followed the listen.
I
followed
the
the instructions.
You don't need key. That's what we are saying. If you follow it, you get it. You
I don't need the key.
Somebody say he has installed it. Yes, she does it. Yes. Dr. Unashuku installed yesterday. If you follow, if you miss one step, especially that step where you say finish, if you don't uncheck, forget.
Yes, uncheck. I unchecked.
If you uncheck,
click finish.
You uncheck before you click finish.
Yes.
So what you do, what the problem you're having is what the lady that just asked me question also have. So when you do that, you finish. Go to the folder where you did the SPSS before. Okay, can you share? It's part of learning, please. Can you share? You know what I mean by share? Go to that, click on that folder where the SPSS is. When you just click on it, then share on the, come to Zoom and click on it. Share screen. Click on share screen and double click on that. You will be able to see. I will tell you what to do. You see. If you have finished the other one.
No,
yes.
I'm using my iPad for the Zoom lecture.
That is the problem. Okay.
That's the problem.
Okay.
But since I couldn't do it, I got somebody.
Don't worry. Okay,
no
problem. So sometimes it's good to even demonstrate it and people see. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Somebody is here. That's you now. Then the crack. Well, no, which one is this one? Don't this one look like is it on the internet you are opening it? On the Google Drive? No. Who is sharing this? Who is sharing now? Nobody is answering. Somebody say, are we to use our laptop? Yes, now. Why do you install Dr. Unashuku? You have to use your laptop and connect, because I will ask you to share and ask you to demonstrate. I will tell you what. Anyway, who is sharing?
It's me. I'm the one sharing, but this is the Google Drive.
This is Dr.
This is Abimbola.
Okay.
So this is Google Drive.
Are you trying to install from Google? You cannot install from Google. Did you install from Google?
Well, yes, I clicked on the SPSS folder from Google and it's installed. So I clicked on the crack and it has so many files inside.
Yes,
you can see.
That's why it will not be clear. You click on the crack. It's not this one we are looking for. If you click on that.
This is the SPSS.
And where is the crack? Click on the crack. Is the crack now?
This is the crack.
And click on it.
And there are so many things inside. Crack, copy of ISA.
So many things.
Copy of this, copy of this.
See, that's the problem I have. That copy is not what we are looking for. Is that thing?
ISA.
Yes, click on that ISA. It's not the copy.
I did. Can you see this lower part?
Right click and copy it. Right click and copy it. That's what we're saying.
It's not even allowing me to copy.
It will not allow you because you are trying to install from. You are supposed to download. You download, it will be inside your computer before you install. So when you open that crack now, the ISA, are you following me now?
Mm-hmm.
The only thing, the ISA will now be there. The only thing I can do now, let me see, the ISA can even be in the, if you attach it, and you send, because if you attach it, it can go as a mail for you to just this thing. Download. I don't know of that one, but you are supposed to download. So please, that was why I said you should send your Gmail. You are sending Yahoo
Okay.
Mail.
No, I actually forwarded it to Gmail after all. I forwarded it to Gmail too.
So what you should do,
Yeah.
please go and
Even
download.
though my Yahoo has access to my
Okay.
my Google.
So you are supposed to download it and save it somewhere in your computer before you install, and you go and copy that thing. If you copy that thing,
all right. Okay. I think it's working now.
Okay.
I think I got it now.
Okay, you have copied that thing, right? The link. You have copied the ISA.
Yes.
If you have copied the ISA, go to your start bar.
Okay, I've
Just
seen it. Okay.
IBM. Start IBM. Have you seen the IBM comes out?
Just a minute.
We are not seeing anything. If
Copy files to keyboard. Okay. IBM. I already tried to bring IBM. I did earlier. So 25 years.
The app. So know there are three things. Is the apps, the 25 IBM statistics 25. The apps, not the commuter, not the wizard. Do you get what I'm saying now?
Yes.
Is the app. Right click on that one. You are not even sure if you share that one now. You share.
Okay.
Right click on that one. You will see open file folder. Can you see open file folder? Please just bear with us because I want everybody to even learn this one also. Somebody is okay. If you are not moving fast, let's just stop. You can stop sharing. If you so when you open file location, when you click on the open file location, it will take you to a place also. You still right click on that the same thing. The IBM is there. Open file location. When you open that again, where it take you to, you right click and paste. When you pay, it will take replace. It will allow you to replace. Click on that replace. Once you replace, the thing is done. Let's start our work. Okay, let me start here since people refuse to. Let me start. Trying to open my own. I will share my own SPSS. Okay. When you open SPSS, it gives you something like this. No, this one is value 20, but I have 525 also. I use this also. So, can you see? It will give you something like this. So, what is alerting you is that even by default, what is checking is check open an existing data file. That is, there's an existing file you want to open. If you click OK, it will open a dialog box for you, right? For you to go and look for that data file where it is. Are we together now? If you don't want existing data file, you can just cancel it, just like what I just did now. I just cancel it. If I want to open it, if I still want to open the existing data file, even after I've canceled it, I can go to File, Open, Data. It will give you this. If I have clicked on Open Existing Data File, just say OK. The way it gave me the alert the first time, this is what it will have given me also. Just so it's telling you, go and check where the data file is and open. So there's something, okay, let me just open an existing data file. They will still come back because I want to use a plain start explaining. But I want you to know something. So you look for it. That is why whenever you have your document, anything like the thing I sent to you now, the data file I sent to you, you should put in a folder, somewhere in your document. Some people like putting something on desktop. Though you can still get it there, but it's long journey. Check the thing, desktop is fast. Just make things untidy because if you're looking for desktop, the open when you label it very well, the particular place in your folder, you'll be able to know where it is. Somebody, maybe I need to mute somebody. If there's noise from your side, just mute yourself. That is Dr. Onachuku. Yes, I'm muting you. Okay. Now, I want to look for where I have my own data file on SPSS. I click on, it may not be SPSS, it can be SL. I click on D. So it's not actually download. I won't do one download. It's D. I want to D. Yes. You'll be looking for the folder where you put it. My own now, I'm just looking, tracing where I put it. Can you see now? It's here. So let me click one of the data files I sent to you, BMI. I double click on it. Don't worry, it's in just where, let me go. Can you see now? It open. Why I even first of all open this one is for you to know something. Immediately, if you have an existing data file, you open like that. The SPSS will open 2 windows for you. The first one is this one you are called data editor window. When you say data editor window, that's where you edit your data. You enter your data and edit data editor window. It will also open viewer window. That is where your result, because it's an existing data file I open. It's assuming that I want to do some analysis. So it will automatically open another window in addition to this, where the result will be going. If you look at icon here, you see a window. I click on it, you see it gives you 2. You can see 2. You can see this one. The one is checked is IBM Statistic Data Editor. You can see BMI because the name of this data file is DBMI. Look at it. Then the other one is not checked. Can you see output? If I click on it, it will go to that output window. But if I click on it, unless I go and share it again, it is not because of the Zoom. But there are another way of doing 2 ways. If you go and hover on the taskbar, where when you open SPSS, the icon will be on the taskbar, this horizontal taskbar. So if you hover, just put your cursor on it, you'll be seeing 2 windows, this one and the other one. You can just click. But something, if I'm doing it here, you won't see it on the Zoom, because Zoom can only show you what you start opening. All those bars, something it will not show. But let's say I want to go to the viewer window now. I can share again. Or if it's giving me problem, I can stop sharing this one and share that one. No, I share the viewer window. I know that is I know that it's opening. Okay. What I will do is that let me change, because I've not changed to that viewer. Let me change to that viewer window here. Up here. Can you see now? I want to check the viewer window. So you may not see it, but let me just show you now. Can you see? That is the output. That is where result come to. So when you open an existing data file, automatically SPSS will open data editor window and viewer window or result. We call it viewer window for you, where the result will be going to. So I want to go back to that data editor window. This is the data editor window. Now, even with I've opened this data editor window also, there are 2 views. I can even use this one to explain all this icon before I go and open plain one. I will now describe how you create variable. Now, look at the data editor window itself has 2 views: variable view and data view. It is in data view. If you look at it, the data view is highlighted. It's highlighted. It's in data view. Can you see? Variable view. Can you see? Variable view is where you create the variable. And data view is where you enter the data. Before I go to the icon on the variable view, data view, let's first of all look at the general icon and explain their function. Some of these icons you see here, they are the same, performing the same function in any window, like a Word document, like Excel. Like for example, file, that's where you go and save as or open another thing. Like edit, that's where you do your, if you want to edit something like undo, whatever. Even though you may see they have the icon here, but that's where some of the things you do to edit. View To view something, though, there are some feature you see also, like the green line value label, you go to see it later. Transform. These 5 edit view, they are peculiar to all windows. But the one that are now specific, of course, help also is peculiar to all windows. Help, the last one. But the other one, data, transform, analyze, market, direct marketing, graph, utility, add-on, they are the one that are peculiar to SPSS. Data, you know, that's where you do some things. It's more like, you know, this is data editor window, where you do some things, like if you want to split file, if you want to select some cases. Let's for example, now you are doing a study, you only want the people, you want to analyze the people that have skin lesion. Some people have skin lesion, some don't have. They want to know how many of these people that have skin lesion, how many people. So you want to select the skin lesion. How do you do it? It's under this data. You do the select, you do the splitting file. You want to say, okay, you want to analyze your boundary. Or sometimes it may not even be comparative before, but you just feel, okay, let me do it male female separately. Analyze male female. Analyze, use one variable as a parameter, as the variable for splitting. This is where you do it. You go and shoot that process. Transform. You know, I talked about transform the other time. If you want to compute new variable, like we've talked about the computing BMI from weight and height. Like I remember when I was in Lutz, the cardiologists, when they do their echo, they measure the radius of this, the length of this, diameter of this, everything. All those things, they use to derive something. They just have formula. Like anything, they just have formula, this is this. So all you need to do, you don't need to put those values there. All you need to do is those radio, what they measure, radius, diameter, all those thickness, you enter them. If you now want to calculate a volume, a particular volume, you use the formula, is from compute, you do it. Like if you want to transform also, is from compute, you do it. It's still under compute also if you want to, if something is like age now, the age is enter as a continuous variable. We want to run range less than 20, 20 to 29, 39. We want to range it like that, 50 and above. It's under compute, you do it. So it's like there you get you compute new variable. Because the age group is different from age. The age group is a categorical variable, while the age is a continuous variable. Then analyze. Most of the analysis you do, all the analysis you do, here. And if you look at it, if you click on one, it takes you to many other options. So that's where you assess the analysis you want to do. But marketing, you know, the marketing is just that one talking about their product. They also have other products apart from this and the later, I think the later is under the utility. The marketing is under our product. Then graph is want to plug that. But most of the time you discover that graph aspect is redundant because even under the analyze, there's provision. If you want graph, as you are running your analysis, you want the graph, there's provision there. It's like a access. If you want to just go and plot graph, you go like this. But if in the process, as you are doing the analysis, okay, this graph will work. You can. So at the end of the day, at least you even use this graph. Then utilities is still part of other things in their products also. Okay, then add-on this programming extension, like when you were you were talking of Python. You want to do, somebody will say people that are doing programming, Python. When you were installing it, there's a place say you want to install Python. So this window is the one I just explained. It's just for you to switch between data editor window and your window. Help, like now tutorial is there. But let me tell you, the help of SPSS cannot help you. So the help of some software do help. I don't know why their own is The people that do it are program people. So most of the ones, they just get the formula from the statistician, people that have the knowledge. With this, they program it and they evaluate it. But their knowledge of using, just forget. What can help you is if there's a book of somebody that is a good user and wrote the book how to use it, can help you. Help. Now, you can see now what you will even be using mostly the data transform and analyze in this place. So that's just the summary of those icons. Now let's now come to the data, the variable view and the data view. In doing that, I want to open a fresh page so that we can. I don't want us to disturb this. Let's say now we open new. If it's new, if it is you want to open existing, another existing, you come to open and data. But this one is new data. You click on it and you see open fresh page for us. Now you will see variable view. Let's start with variable view. You see that the variable view, they are arranged in row and column, just like the data view also. But the column, along the row, you just see 1, 2, 3. They are along the column, you see name, type, week. So what it's just telling you is that 1, 2, 3, just the different number, the variables you have in your data set, in your questionnaire. The first one, age, but better use serial number as number 1. Serial number should be the number 1. So after serial number, if maybe there are 2 categories or 3 categories, that group variable, the urban, rural, whatever, or private, public, or whatever, should be the second one. Then before you now come to your, if there are some other thing that maybe something that is across due to political zone, you may put them before you now go to the specific and say age, sex, many things, marital status, ethnicity, all those stuff. So as you are going down, if your variable are up to 30, of course you get up to involve up to 30 lines. That's what that one means. But when you type it, this column show okay, the name of the variable first, then the type of the variable, the width, the destiny, all those things. So for us to explain it better, let me just click. Let's say we are creating now serial number. Sorry, serial number. Immediately you type something. Can you see? You type variable name. Automatically, it will just give you some default.
Sorry, sir, you're still showing the data view window. It's not the variable view window you're showing.
No, it's variable view, man. It just look like data view.
It's showing the data for the different columns with the variables on it. This one.
It's the data view that you're showing, sir.
So I thought, okay, sorry. Okay, when I open it, I needed
you
to.
did not share.
I need to share again. Yes, sorry. I need to share. You know.
Exactly. Yeah.
I need to share. Well, I have to stop sharing. I have to stop sharing and I share again. Sorry, I'm very sorry for that. Wow. Yeah, this is the one. So this one, can you see it now?
Yes, we can.
Yes, sir, we can.
So this is what. Oh, sorry. It's good to speak of. I didn't know you. So what I was explaining was that when you come to the, even by that time, I have not even typed anything. No, like this one was, okay, I clear it now. So I just said, okay, when you come to variable view, there is a variable, you first of all create before you say you are entering data. So you see that there are rows and columns. The rows are number 1, 2, 3, 4, so plenty. So the number you are able to use depends on the number of variable you have in your questionnaire. So the first one will take the first row, the second one like that. Then I said that serial number should be your number 1. Then the vertical is to describe the characteristics of the variable. So let me just type serial number now. As I type serial number, Immediately I type like this, I enter. The way they set it gives you default for all those characteristics. The default they give is something they feel will come commonly, but you can change. Everything is subject to change. So like now, this type, this variable name, number one, it does see accept gap. You don't, if let's say I'm okay, don't worry. Let me pick group, maybe a banner. Can you see? Let me put, after we have done, let's see, age, maybe age, maybe that's the next one. Sex. Then I'll now say marital status. Marital. If I want to put gap now, it will not take it. Status. Can you see? You see, I put gap, status. I press, can you see? It came out. So you either put it marital status, you write it together. I usually write together and use capital letters to start the second one. Or you can suppose put underscore to take underscore. It will not take minus or dash because it believes that particular thing is operational for mathematical calculation. It will not take it, but you take underscore. That's what many people use to. Then me, I prefer writing together. So you can label it here. If you look at label, 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th column is for you to label. Anything you cannot do, like this one, I can take marital status with gap. Can you see? You can even describe. You know, there now, most of your question name, you say, oh, have you heard of tuberculosis? It will not take, no, I don't know, will not encourage you to put long thing there. Typing long thing. Then it will not, I encourage gap. So you have to shorten it. So here you can now come and describe. What some people do is that they just say question 1 as the name, question 1, question 2, question 3. But here under label now, the way that question is, you have to type it. If question 6 had a few heard of tuberculosis, the way they ask you are allowed to put it under label. Have you heard of tuberculosis? No. Sometimes it's good like that because sometimes when you enter data, you don't know the person that wants to analyze, you want to enter data, you want to store and send to somebody to help you analyze. If you make the data, the variable you have created to be data file to be as close as possible to the questionnaire. When you send the questionnaire to the person and the data, he will be able to quickly understand, okay, this. Rather than just type anything when you send to that person, the person is lost. Even without some people, without even sending the questionnaire, if you label it very well, it's as good as seeing your questionnaire. So that is why the labeling is good, especially if you are not the one that will analyze the data. Okay, that's one is there. Although the labeling is optional. If you label, whatever you type as label, when you are running the analysis inside, that's what you'll be seeing, what you label. But if you didn't label, whatever you put as the name, that's what you'll be seeing. Can you see now? So now, but you can always check here if you see, you can only check. Now, let me start from that type. We have talked about the name now. Let's look at the type. If you look at by default, numeric means number. What do you want to enter inside when you want to enter data? Numeric. The one that is opposite is, there are many options. Is it dollar? Is it date? Then the other one that is, if it is not numeric, that usually the option is string. String means you can enter either number or both number and figure, and number and letter. In some software like people, this string is referred to as alphanumeric. Alpha means letter, numeric means numeric. So string after alphanumeric, then numeric. So sometimes if I want to write maybe sex, I want to put male, female, I want to write M and F, go to code. string. But it allows number also. If you put the string, you can add number. But that number can never be used for calculation. You cannot set your this thing as string and you enter number there. You say you want to calculate the mean. When you even go to that mean, it will not even show. You won't see it as if the data is not there. When you now come back to this, you will see it there. When you enter into dialog box for the mean that involve mean, you will not see it. So, and because the SPSS, they have done such a way that it's good to use, they encourage you to use numeric for every data. That shows that even if something is not numbered, generally, originally you put number. That is, you are coding. You know, the one that are age, CD4 count, weight, height, blood sugar, think of anything that is number, is numeric naturally. But things that are not numeric naturally, that are categorical, they want you also to put number. That is, you want to code. In that sense, if you now code, you now come to value here, under value to label. Like for male and female now, you can say it's numeric. But that's not the value 1 or 2 or whatever figure is not the value of sex. But here, you now see for sex, 1 will mean male, 2 will mean female. You can say 1 mean female, 2 mean male, whichever way. Because my experience the last few weeks now is that if it's a woman that is typing this thing, it will put 1 female and 2 male. Well, whichever way is what to code there, doesn't matter. You can put 1 male, 0 female. If you do that, that 0 will come first because 0 before 1. So you will see something. As I put it now, can you see? But it's showing you 1.00. The decimal come to this. You know, naturally, by default, you give 2 decimal. But it can be more than that. You can be increasing. You can reduce it to 0. If something does not have decimal, it's good to reduce it to 0. If you don't reduce it, will give you something like this. You enter 1, say 1.00. Because it's in 2 decimal places. So you collapse it to no. If you are doing, make sure you are entering height in meter that require decimal. So that's what you know. If it's 2 decimal, put 2 decimal. If it is 1 decimal, you put 1. If you put 2, if it's 1, it will still give you point that thing and now put 0 in the back. So to make it neater, you can just adjust the decimal to what you actually need. Either you need 1 or none or 2. You adjust the decimal. So you can increase it or can reduce it depending on what you like. You will see something like width. No, I've talked about decimal. I've talked about the numeric type and the value. It's only because I'm trying to talk about the one that are related together. Now, it is only categorical data that you code. You don't code because numerical data, after all, that is their value. If you are emptying blood sugar, that's the value. It's not coding. So in that case, you don't need to come and put value there. It's only when you put categorical data as numeric and you want to enter number that you have to come and define what the number means. Yeah. For marital status now, you now see 1 single, 2 is married, 3 separated, 4 divorce, so and so on. Now, look at that decimal also. You can go and collapse it. You know. So that's how to do that. Now, let's look at width and columns. You see, by default is putting 8, 8. I think your own version, I think is 12. Just this version 20. Maybe version 25, it will give you 12, 12. 12, 12. You can increase it. You click on it and look at it. You can reduce or increase or decrease the width. And both the width and the column. The difference between them is the width. When you type the name of your variable, the number inside the computer as you are running your analysis, the number of digits or character that will show, that will come out, is the width. Like for example, now if this is 8, 8, okay, count marital status. The letter is more than 8. If you leave it at 8, inside the computer as you are running analysis, you will see the first 8 letter that will come out. But that one you will not see it. So if you want to increase it, you can increase it. That is width. So the width has to do with the number of character of the name of the variable. Now, what is the column? The column is the number of character that will show. You can enter. You know that when we finish now, we are going to the data view to enter data. I actually give example income. If income now, monthly income, if you set the width to be 8, all the letter in monthly income will not show inside the computer. If you set your default width to be 8, it's only the first 8 that will show. Under the column, if the income is about 1 million, 100 million, or whatever, if you set this thing to be 8, it's not up to the number of digits, it will not show. You won't be able to type up to that amount there. I don't know if you understand me now. So the width has to do with the number of the character of, yes, digit or character of the name of the variable that will appear. While the column has to do with the number of digits you can enter into it as for the value of that variable. That is different between width and column. Now, the next one, you have talked about label, missing value. If you look at it, by default, it says none, no missing value. But if you click on it, you have option. Can you see? No missing value. If you click on it now, there are two ways. They provide discrete for you to enter discrete or to give range. Now, in many situations, when your missing value is as a result of non-response or maybe non-applicable or the person does not know, so it's not answer. So there are many reasons, but if your reason is only one for missing value, you may leave it as no missing value. That is, not that there's no missing value, it means that the computer is not helping you to code missing value. But if, when you run the analysis, if it will tell you the percentage of the missing value in addition to the total. So if the reason for the missing value is only one, so there is no need for you to compare, to consider missing value here. Because the computer will give you, are you able to know the percentage even without you marking missing value. But if the reason for your missing value is more than one, so for you to be able to separate, for example, for a variable now, if there are 20 missing value, then you don't know how many of these 20 is due to, I don't know. How many of it is due to not applicable? Or how many of it is due to that the person decided not to answer? So that maybe there are many reasons for missing value. So when you have more than one reason for missing value for a particular variable, it's good to now enter a missing value. And the computer, the SPSS, give you up to 3 options. 3 options in the sense that there are 3, that is, you can give room for 3 particular options that are the way I've explained, because there are many reasons for missing value. So in that case now, you can say option 1, you can say missing value, I may say 99, option 2, 999, option 3, 9999. What it just means that you are just giving some outrageous value because you are looking for the value that most of the times outside the range of the value you are entering for the variable. For example, now if it is age you are considering, if you know that nobody is up to 99 or 100, then you can use 99. So this 999 is just for you. It may not be 999, but just for number 1 for you to something easily remember something that will be big and outside the range of the value you are entering. For example, now if you go and use 99 as your missing value, and somebody is up to 9, so somebody now record age 99. If they will enter the age 99, but the computer will consider as missing value. Do not consider as if there is a value there. So when you are choosing missing value, you choose value outside the range of what your data set is for that variable. Now, and you choose, if you want to choose, you have to, maybe you have 2 reasons for it. You set 2 value. If you have 3 reasons, the computer doesn't give you option more than 3 reasons. Set like this. So as you are entering, you know that, oh, when this person is not applicable, you put 99. If he doesn't know, you put 999. If the person didn't just answer, you can put 9999. So in that case, when you analyze, you know, it will show you the percent of each of them. You'll be able to know, oh, what proportion you know, what proportion is not applicable to, and what proportion decide not to answer. Another option is to you to give a value and not give a range. There is not being commonly used. That one down. Me, I don't use missing value anyway. It doesn't mean that you cannot use it. So that is about missing value. Then we are talking about the column. Alignment. Alignment is like any other alignment anywhere. Alignment either right, center, or left. I don't even know you use any of that one. So, but you see that by default, if you are dealing with numerical, is if your type you have set numeric, the alignment will be right. Okay, let's see something. If I decide to set this one not as numeric now, I just set as string. Look at the alignment. For that first one, you see, be looking at the alignment. It becomes left. If the variable type is string, the alignment will be left. Automatically, it will be left. If it is numeric, it will be right. But it doesn't mean that you cannot change it. You can change it with your hand. Even if it is numeric, you can change it to left. Hand, but by default, that's the way it comes like that. On its own to change. If you have chosen string, it will give you left alignment. Choosing numeric, give you right alignment. Then this next one is very, very important. Measure. That measure just means scale of measurement. You remember the scale of measurement? Remember nominal, ordinal, interval, ratio. Look at it. Give you 3 options. Nominal, ordinal. Now, if you look at the nominal, the high content flat. That is, all of them are equal at the same level. Ordinal means that something is increasing. Then interval, it means that if you scale rather, It means either interval or ratio. So when you are dealing with quantitative variable, give it the scale. So you just mark it there. If it's or categorical ordinal, you indicate. If it's categorical nominal, you indicate. The last one is the role. That is, the role means what is the function of this variable? What is the function? So if you look at it by default, you put input. That is just an input. Any other variable input for you is something you are putting in for you to analyze. But there are options there. You have partition, target, split. Maybe most familiar you see is the split. That is, what is it going to do? If, like for example, now this one group variable is maybe a split variable. It's a split variable. Is to when you analyze it, to split your data set into to split your analysis when you're analyzing into the group that's the different group. This group is defined. Maybe if it's urban and rural, you analyze urban for a separate, rural for a separate split. But just like some other thing, feature here, it's redundant. Nobody uses it because inside, if you remember when I was talking of data, there's a place for split file. Can you see? Split. So that is just it. So it's not so useful in that sense. Now, you know the SPSS, they developed long ago and they keep on, improving based on suggestion. There are some improvements that are not so important, but sometimes if something is not so important as far, that it's not important, but for the majority of cases, you may not use it. Or majority of situations, you may not use it. But for the few situations that we need it, it's good for it to be there. So that's one thing about this SPSS. I want a question. I want a question from what you have just said before we proceed. Because sometimes when you talk too much, and people forget what they have learned.
Thank you very much, sir, for this session. It was deeply, at least it was an opportunity to revise, at least some of the knowledge I had. But my question is still tied to that missing variable for the discrete. Because I noticed that you had 99, 9. I didn't understand what that meant. Does it mean that so anywhere at all missing value appears? For example, now let's say I run an analysis of let's say a categorical variable. Now, I will say that is that 999 that appear. So which of the 99s will appear? Is it the first one, the second one, or the third one? Then the other thing I wanted to also ask is you talked about whether something was categorical nominal, categorical ordinal. I didn't, because I know you were talking about under measure.
Okay, when you
isn't it just scale? Because
no, I say there is. If you look at it, there is nominal, ordinal, scale. Those are the options. Nominal, ordinal, scale. Nominal, categorical is divided into nominal and ordinal. Categorical variable is either nominal or ordinal. Or you don't agree with that?
Oh, I see. Okay.
So I say the measure that was is they try to combine anything
I understand now.
Which is either interval or ratio. That is the measure. That's what you can see. That one they put ruler there just to say you are measuring something.
Yes.
So for the question you asked about missing value. So what are you thinking of if you run analysis? Yes, before you run analysis, that's what you are doing. It's you that you are setting how it will be. This is where you your variable now. What we are saying that if I want to enter this variable, if some question are blank, they didn't answer. That's what it means. There will be some value that are missing from the questionnaire. There are some people that didn't answer. If you don't want to bother about, maybe there's only one. That's it now. If there's only one reason that you know the reason for a particular variable that is only one reason that it can be blank, you just forget about it. It's when you won't enter anything. When you are running it, computer will tell you the number that is empty and call it missing value and give you the percentage. If something is empty, the computer will see calculate the percentage that is still empty, that is missing for you.
Yeah.
But if the reason for that missing value is more than one, it may help you for you to be able to know how many is due to this reason among them, how many is due to another reason. That's why the reason for choosing missing value. If, let's say, I give an example, if you have 3 reasons for missing value, you have 3 reasons, maybe for the age now, or for, let's say, age. You ask for somebody age.
Okay. Yes.
The person may not know the age. You say, do you know the age of maybe it's another person, or even their own age? Somebody doesn't know their age. If you say, I don't know my age, yes, I don't tell you. Or the person just decide not to tell you. You know, some people don't want to say their age.
Yes. So you can use 2 different 999s for those 2.
What I say, it's not. You can even put 777. It's not. It's just like when you were in medical school, when you are doing 99. Why they choose 99 is because it's high tone. When you see 99, it gives a high tone. So if somebody you're able to hear the percussion, you know, you also may hear the something. You know, when you want to, it tells yes. It's because that's why they use 99.
Yeah.
But this one now has nothing to do with 2. This one just have to do with extreme. If you look at all the figure 1 to 9, 9 is the highest figure. Okay. You're just talking of extreme figure. Like for example, now I give you an example. If you are entering age, unless somebody is up to 90, most adults they are not up to 99. You hardly see, we are doing study, you see up to 99. Unless you go and study old people. But if you are doing normal survey, you are not likely to see somebody that's old like that. But you may see.
Okay.
So if you should, for age now, if you choose 99 as minimum, you already know that nobody will be up to that value. So if you have set the computer as your for missing value, when you are calculating median, it will not touch it. It will not use it to calculate mean for you.
Oh, I now understand. So that it does not tamper. Okay, that's how you put that in there.
It's just there as a frequency, so that when you run it, you will show the 119 row. There are about 10 of them, 2% are missing. Give you. If the reason, and the reason, if the reason is only one reason, there's no point for you to even put it, because it will just, the computer will give you missing value and give you percentage. But if the reason for this age now, I don't know it yet, or it doesn't, no response. So I can say, I don't know at 99, no response, 999. So when we are running the analysis now, it will give you some 999, some 99 as well. Apart from the other value you have given, it will give you that one and tell you the percentage.
I now get it.
So you'll be able to know, okay, out of the missing, we have 2% don't know, 1% refuse to no response, refuse to answer. So the certain missing value is only applicable when you have more than one reason for a missing value for a particular variable. Otherwise, by default, no missing value. So that was answer. Any other question?
Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome. Any other question? So
yes, Juro, can we use 000?
Well, you can, yes, you can use. If no, you cannot use. You know one thing with 00. 000 means 0. You 000 without any number, like anything, is still 0. Zero is nothing. 100 times is 0. That's why if you put 000 in Excel, it will give you return back to 0. You get the picture now.
Okay. Okay.
You are just looking for something. Most of the time, people look for high figure because the extremely high figure is the one that will be outside the range of what you are entering. If it is for maybe it's category like for sex now, you are putting missing value or marital status, order that your coding is not more than 5. You can put 6 there for your missing value. Examiner. You can put 9 because it's above the normal coding. Like if your distance is on the Likert scale 1 to 5, putting 9 there is good. You can use it as a missing value. You're missing you yourself. If you have set it as missing value, the computer will not, when it's running all there, it will not run it. If you are calculating, if you are trying to calculate, mean do anything with any, it will not touch that missing value for any mathematical purpose. You get it now. But if your missing value, some of the number you are considering, your enter there is your missing value still fall within the range of that number. Any number you choose as missing value, any number, any subject that have it, the computer will consider as missing value also. I don't know if you understand me. That's why you have to choose a value outside. Okay, don't let always die with missing value because any other one. So after the other thing I want to consider here is that we have explained on this sheet. You can have something like okay, like weight. No, I talk about weight. You remember the decimal? Decimal, I may want it to be 1 decimal place, right? I may want it to be 2 decimal places. So you set all this one as you are doing it. You say this one is scale. The serial number is actually nominal. The group is nominal and nominal. Unless if the group you are studying is in hierarchy, you can put ordinal there. Not that some group that are hierarchy. Maybe you are comparing, you have a group, low socioeconomy, middle socioeconomy, high socioeconomy. In that case, that group is ordinal. So the sex, nominal, marital status, nominal, weight is scale, height is scale. If it's something like okay, education, level of education, can even come and put it before this weight and height. See, insert education. No, education is ordinal. You know that level of education is ordinal. So, and the last thing I want to write here is, let's say symptoms. Symptoms. So you are not you will not go and type symptom. You consider, okay, you can ask add of let's question of yes or no. Add, okay, sorry. Add of TB. Is the answer is yes or no, right? You come and code it here. You can say 1 is yes, 2 no. You can say 0 is no, 1 yes, whichever way. 2 no. I'm just trying to look at different forms. Then question on symptoms, something that is not only symptom, something that is, you can say you tick as many as possible in a particular question. Multiple responses. Each of the responses is a variable on its own, like weight loss as a symptom. It will be yes or no. Vomiting. Your value will be yes or no. Think of very headache. Like that. As many as possible. So if you have a question that says, take as many as possible, even if they didn't put yes or no there, the thing is yes or no. Multiple responses is yes or no. Since you are going to tick as many as possible. So unless there are some multiple something, so yes, no, I don't know. In that case, you put it there also. If for each of them, yes, so you can code yes, 1, no, 2, I don't know, 3. So you remove, if you don't want the decimal, you remove it. That's how to how to do this. Now, let's now shift to, okay, let's define these properties very well, because if you don't do it very well by time, maybe you just want to quickly enter something, maybe having problem with it. Let's define the way it's supposed to be. Weight loss, these are yes or no. Where the weight itself, height is 2. This one, or this one, they are nominal. Anything yes or no is nominal. So you can save anytime. There is now, if I want to save this one, I'll just say save as, that I just say demonstration.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, sir. Go on, sir.
Is Anchoku speaking. Concerning the weight loss, the values that were we supposed to add one as in yes, no to it? I don't think you've added that yet. To the values, weight loss and headache.
Okay, look at it. Okay, and the other. Okay, now if you want to do it, you know, as the first one, I put yes, no. Abi, head of TB, I put yes, no. If you want to put that the same yes, no, copy the same. You can copy like this. When you a copy, you can select all of them and just paste. Do the same thing for you. Provided it's the same thing you are putting the way you code it, yes or no. Does it make sense? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, it does, sir.
If let's say you know, sometimes you may have a list of this thing, yes, no, plenty after. You don't need to, if the response is the same, just when you type one, you don't need to be typing every, just copy and go and select and paste on those. To repeat the same thing for you. So save time. You know, like if you don't do that, like Ugo's work now. Ugo's work is like each work is like 5 pieces. So in that case, if care is not taken, in fact, you collapse creating the questionnaire file. Okay, let's quickly go to data view. Can you see?
Immediately. Yes. Excuse me, please.
Yes.
This head of TB and weight loss. Do we have to define them properly under label? Is it necessary?
Yes, you may. I said it before. You may say, have you heard of TB? You can even define the way it is in questionnaire. Even sometimes it's something. Do you notice that your child is losing weight? Do you notice this one? You get a picture now. So anyway, description, you can put it under label. But whatever you put on that label, when you are running your eye, that is what will be there as the name of that thing. And that's why I don't like it. It is good because many times, if somebody sends data set to me to analyze, you don't know anything about the work. You have to understudy the work, look at it to conceptualize. So if the person will label it very, make it easy. Make it easy. But if it's me that I want to enter, I want to analyze it. I don't want to waste time. I just put this church or something. Don't quickly move. So it's good. Now, if you remember, at this level here, along the horizontal is the number of variables. The vertical is the characteristic, the properties of the variable. But when you come to data view, along those characteristics of the variable, or the variable itself, sorry, the variable is there now is along the vertical. And this one is the case is not the subject. If number one is units, though you are not writing unit, but everything about unit will be along this line up to, if let's say the questionnaire is up to over 100, you're like Ugo, so that's how it will be going like that. Until going like that until when it reaches the end. So when you are entering for one person will take one line like this, because one case is one person. So if by the time you enter, if your sample size is 400, you reach number 400. you are talking. Somebody is asking a question. Dr. Bariweni, you are talking. You have a question, right? Somebody is asking a question. Or is it noise?
I'm very okay, you know.
Okay, that's great.
I don't have any question.
Okay,
I'm
that's great.
satisfied with it.
That's great. So, you know, this way you enter. So number 1, no serial number is this, you enter. What is the group? Maybe group 2. What is this? That's how you enter it. So I don't. That's how you be entering. So that's all. Any questions so that we can move ahead to do. At least you have understanding of how to create and to enter now. So I want you when we finish today, try to create something. You have small questionnaire. You just create and try to enter. Create it the way I did and try to enter. Is that clear? So now, the other time also, you know, I show us the way I open the data file for SPSS. All you need to do is that just open the SPSS, look for where the data files and go and open. In fact, you know the funniest thing, all these latest version now, like all these version 25, whatever now, if you have them, all you need to do is that don't even open, if you want to open that data file with inside SPSS. So you just go to where folder is and click on that data file. It will automatically open SPSS. Okay, maybe let me just close this one and close this one and demonstrate what I'm saying. Oh, wait. And demonstrate what I'm saying to you. I want to demonstrate what I'm saying. Just want to know. Yes, so I have a gallery view of everybody. It's only me that is showing my face. Everybody is hiding. Okay. Okay. Now, let me. Okay. I want to go. Sorry. Let me first of all go and open. Yes. Can you see now? I've opened a place where the data file is. If you remember, I didn't open SPSS, so I've closed the SPSS. Didn't open the SPSS. Look at this BMI we opened the other time. I will just double click on it. It opened for me. Or wait, let me just be sure that if I have closed it. No, I didn't close it. I've just closed it now. I just close it now. I don't have SPSS open. So if I go to where that thing is, I just double click. Can you see? It's a matter of time. It will just open SPSS. I don't know if you are seeing it. Can you see it? Are you seeing it? It's version 25. Just open. Open the data file. Also open the data viewer window.
So I think you have to share. You have to share it again.
Okay, you didn't see it. Oh.
No.
But it opened for me. I don't know. No, it just opened it. I didn't open SPSS, but I just went to that data files in SPSS. Just double click. That it will happen if you have SPSS installed. Not that you don't have SPSS installed on your computer. You just say, oh, you can just bring it. No, you have SPSS installed, but just go. You don't even need to open SPSS before you open that data file. Just go to where the folder where the data file is together with the just double click on it. It will open SPSS and open the data file for you. So that is the advancement we have. So I want us, how do we bring in Excel? How do you bring in Excel? Something is in Excel. You want to open it in SPSS. How do you do it? Now, so you know that if you have opened an SPSS also, through it, you don't need to, if you, let's say you open it, you want to open another file in SPSS, either even from Excel or from SPSS, you don't need to close down and open again. No. From there, look at here now, file. I go to open, not new, open, then click on data. It will give me It's just giving me the last place I went to. You understand me now? This one just giving me the last place I went to. If let's say this is the first time today now, as I was using it before, after I opened this computer, this first time, as if you remember the other time, it will not take me directly to it. If you want to look for the folder. Now, skin lesion, I want to open, see there's an Excel I sent to you. The Excel also is here. If I want to open it, but that Excel is not showing because by default, look at this place. By default, this is SPS statistics. Listen now, type of file of type is SPS statistic. So even though Excel is there, it will not show. So you now scroll, look at the arrow, click on it. There are many options. You now click on Excel. You click immediately, those ones that are in Excel just come up. Can you see? So when it comes up, you now click on the one you want. Yes? Somebody ask question. Does somebody have question?
No.
Okay. So you now click on it like skin lesion. You either click, okay. No, it's this skin lesion I need. Skin lesion, and now click open. It now give you, can you see what you're saying? What sheet? You see the first sheet. Sometimes if the thing is not safe in the first sheet, it will show you the first sheet. You will not see if you go and click on it. You have to, because it will show you first sheet. So you have to look for the sheet where the thing is. Yeah, for this one, it's in the first sheet. That's the only thing where something. Sometimes you make mistake, you've forgotten. Somebody says something, it's something diagram that you put in first sheet. The data is second sheet. You just click. They just give you one funny thing. You don't even know what it is. Go and check. So here, the thing is in the first sheet. And it will say, supposed to read variable number from first row of data. And you see, read, it will give you the alert. Just say okay. And you see, it has now opened that Excel, the file in Excel in SPSS. So you can now go and save it. If I want to save, I now go to save as. I will now give it a name. If I give it a name now, we have the same name, but it will be in SPSS, and it will save it in the same location where the Excel is, unless you want to change it. I don't want to save it because it's in solution. So I want to close now. I want to stop sharing. I want somebody to share, because at least somebody should open the skin lesion. The person, because I sent it to everybody who did not save it. It's very new. Dari, you downloaded it now.
Can I try?
Yes, that's great. Try.
Unachuku. Okay.
You have to first of all, yeah, Unachuku, I know. First of all, have you opened your SPSS?
I've opened my SPSS.
At least the first click. Then come and share. Go to share screen. When you click on share screen, it show you many things you have opened. You just double click on that one. It will show us.
Okay.
That's great.
Can you see my screen now?
Have you double click on it? Shane the Shidozie has started screen sharing. You have started. Okay, yes. You have seen
it. You can see it now.
Yes, you can see it. That's great. So to file. Go to file now.
File.
And go to open, not new. Yes, open. Data. Click on data.
Okay.
Then it's coming. We have not seen what is. Okay, yes. Now go and look for, where you save the skin lesion, and you look for it. You look for it in your folder.
Okay.
It's under leverage, okay? That's great.
Okay, it's not here. Okay, I have to change it here now.
Thank you. Great. Yeah, click on
Excel.
Yeah, click on it. Can you see?
Can
you see it? Click on it and click
Oh,
open.
sorry.
Click open.
Open.
You come up.
Okay.
Now say okay. You say read variable name from first row of data. You say just say okay.
Just click okay.
Yes. It's coming. Is your giraffe.
Okay, it has come. Let me maximize it.
Oh, you have seen it, right?
Yes, I've seen it.
Okay. If that's the case, if you have seen, we have not seen, stop sharing and share again and share that one because we have not seen. It's showing us the new. You can do new share. But sometimes the new share can confuse you because if you are trying to not give you what to click, you can stop sharing and share again. Okay, yes, we have seen it now.
Okay, yes.
Can you see?
Yes. It's clear now. So I can now save it.
Yeah, okay, then now save it. Save as.
Save as, okay.
Now type the name. You can still say skin lesion the same way, but it will save there as SPSS. No gap. No gap.
No gap.
Well, I think it will not. I don't think it will stay. You can try and pull gap. It will save it.
Okay. Skin lesions.
Yeah.
So save.
Yes. Okay, save it.
I think it's saved.
Just save. Okay. Now, what you want to do? Just come to variable.
Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry, Duro. I think I missed a step because I'm trying to open the file and it's not opening. It's telling me error.
Which one?
The Excel. The Excel. So I went to file. I think I missed a step because my internet is unstable, and did open and then went to data.
Okay, you know what? No problem.
Then,
no problem. Just wait, Tari. Dr. Una.
Okay.
Dr. Una.
Yes, I'm with you.
Stop sharing.
Okay.
Stop sharing. Let's Tari share our own. That's the way to learn it. Let's Tari share alone. We'll do it again.
How do I stop? Is it pause sharing or what?
Stop sharing. Yes, just
okay, stop share. I've seen it. Okay.
Stop share. Yes, just stop share.
Okay, I've stopped it. Yes.
Dr. Tari, share your own with us.
Okay. Share screen. Where's that? Where's my? Okay. I think that's where we are.
Yes,
sharing the right screen.
Great.
Okay, so I went to file, did open, data. Sorry, let me just, sorry, 1 minute. Let me remove, minimize this. Okay, then I changed this to Excel.
Yes.
Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, so I see this. So what do I do next? Click on it.
Is you that name it as copy Duro of skin lesion, right?
Yes.
Okay, no problem. Okay, click on it.
Okay.
Now click on open. Click on open. Open on the side.
Yes, so when I do that, it says error. So is that a problem with my saving the file?
Has been by another application. If so, close it and try. I think it's maybe because of the way you.
Okay, it may be open. Oh, it may.
Maybe you have opened it. Yes,
open.
You open. Yes, you were opening it. Yes, you have to close it.
Okay.
You know, if you are working on Excel, you cannot use. If you are working the file, you cannot unless you close it.
Okay, I think that's the problem.
Okay.
It's
open. You can go out and close it now. Where is open? Go out of it and go and close it. Go out of Zoom and go and close it. You can stop sharing. Hello, Tari? Tari? Hello? Can anybody hear me?
Yes, sir, I can hear you clearly.
Maybe Tari is not hearing us. Is it that? Okay.
Yes,
Please,
sir.
if you want to talk, you have to unmute yourself. Yes, Ugo. Okay. So maybe
Her internet is unstable. That's why.
Okay. Maybe because I want us to go and work on that skin lesion now. You want to clean it. You want to do something on it. I want us. Which one is making noise?
I think it's Tari. She's having a network problem.
Yeah. Okay. Dr.
Nachuku?
Nachuku, yes. Share again. Let's share what you have opened so we can use to learn. But I want us to do something on it now. On that Excel.
Okay.
That's why.
I'm sharing the skin lesions.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah.
Can we see my screen now?
I can see, yes, we can see. Go to variable view.
Variable view, okay.
Yes.
I've clicked on it.
Yeah.
Is it visible?
Yes, okay, yes. Click on that number 8, that row number 8 on the, row 8 on the panel on the left, yes. Right click on it.
Okay.
Delete
it's
it.
all highlighted.
It's an artifact, delete it. Right click.
I should what?
Right click.
Okay.
Yeah, clear. Click on clear.
Clear, okay.
Yeah. You can do Control S to save. Control S to save.
I've done that.
Now you will see, this thing was in SPSS, Excel, but when you import it to SPSS, somehow, SPSS gives you some characteristics. Can you see? The one that are number, you call it numeric. The one that is not numbering, they put there. All this sex is male and female. My interest is single married, they type there, and this one, he put them string. Can you see? The one that is original number, I put them numeric. Can you see? Now,
yes,
it don't, by default, the decimal is 0. It's not SPSS, but if it's SPSS you create, it will give automatic 222. Now, you will see no label, no all those things. You will see by default, all those ones that are numeric, their alignment is right. The one that are string, the alignment are left. Can you see?
Yes,
can you see? You see, the one that are numeric also, you say they are scale. That is, can you see, for measure? And the one that are not, you say they are nominal. Can you see?
Yes.
So, somehow. But you still want to know, you may do adjustment like now, if you want to increase or decrease the width or whatever. Now, most of the time, people, when they enter in Excel, it is easier and it will not give you much problem or error. If you enter it as, if that thing is string, enter it as string. It is only number I put there as number. Okay, go to variable in data view now. Go to data view.
Okay, I've clicked on data view now.
Yes, you will see what I was saying. The sex, the marital status, and you can widen it, and the skin lesion. You can widen this space for people to see. Yes, the skin lesion. There is number is alpha is later we type there. Now, most of the time when you are entering in Excel, if you type like single now, if you want to type again, it will just, as you put S, single will come. But if you have typed simple and separated, they're separated there. If you type S, it will not pop up. But if you type SE, it will separated will pop up. If you type SI, single will pop up. Once you have typed something in Excel before in the same column, once you just put the first number to recognize it, it will just pop up. So it makes it faster when you are entering, rather than you are putting 1 or 2, because that 1 or 2, people are likely to make mistake. I don't know if you understand me now. Typing 1 or 2 in Excel, unless if that is figure like a serial number, count, all the CD4 count, age, all those on their number. So you don't have option. You just have to tap them. Say, for coding, it's not advisable when you are entering Excel to be putting 1 to all those stuff. Even though you have the way of coding it. So what you do now is that you will type it the way. Now we want to code it. How do you want to code it now? We want to change this female to 1, or female to male to 1, or female to 2, whichever way we want to do. How will you do it in SPSS here? Just right click on sex, the title.
That's the heading.
Yes. Now sort ascending. You either use ascending or descending. Click sort ascending. Click. It has sorted. Can you see it has sorted? All the ascending, you know, ascending here now, F before M. So if you scroll down, you're going to see the female are down. It has sorted. Scroll down. You're going to see it has sorted sex according to. Can you see now? So here you can you see now? So we want to code the female. What do you want to code the female? Is it 1 or 2? Just make the decision. Go up. Now,
let me code it as 1.
Okay, so that the female here will not crucify you. Click 1. Click on that first one.
Okay, I've clicked on it. Do I double click?
No, just type 1, not double click. Just type 1 on it.
Okay, I've done that.
So bring your cursor out of that place.
I've done that.
Yeah, return your cursor on that one.
Okay.
Right click and copy. Then select the remaining female down. Just select it down. All of them down. Yeah, up to where the female, continue up to where the female ends. Yeah, return small. Yes. Right click now.
Paste.
Paste. And you see now, you have coded the female one. You do the same for the male. You do the same for the male and code it 2. Is Tari back? Are you there, Dr. Una? Hello? It's like he's having network problem. Can anybody hear me? Please, if you can hear me, just talk. Dr. Una.
I can hear you.
Yes. The when we will not get this thing. Okay, Doctor, now do the same thing for.
Yes.
So those are the things you do for data cleaning.
Okay, I've done that on the data view. So I should go to variable view.
Yes. No. Okay. Okay, you can go to variable view. I thought we want to finish this thing, the other one. Go to variable view. You want to do. Go to variable view. Now, you go and change that sex from string to numeric now.
So numeric.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Can you see? You know, don't ever go and change until you have typed the number there. Before you, if you go and change, you lose everything there. If let's say before you type the number, there are male and female, you came to change into numeric, you lose everything there. You know that string can take both number and letter. The numeric cannot take letter. You get it now. If you go and change it before you go and write 1, 2 there, you change it to numeric, you lose everything there. You see dot, you just do. That is why when you want to code, now first of all, go change to the number before you can come at it. So quickly do the same thing for marital status and skin lesion. Also, can somebody, okay, let him do it because I want everybody to learn this. All people are getting it now. So right click on marital status and sort.
Okay. Sort ascending.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Divorce is number 4. Mind them. Divorce is number 4. So put 4 for divorce. Separated 3. Married 2. And you can use and for these 2. Now, if they are not plenty, just 2, 4, 4, 4, and just go. They are not plenty, just type 4 and move. 4, 4, 4.
Yes.
Yeah, they are not way ahead. This one that is long now. Married 2. 2 is 2. Put 2 there. So it depends on the way you code. You can decide to code the way you like. So let's say marry is 2. Copy and yes.
Oh, my computer.
Okay.
Let's remove the check.
Yes. Right click.
Then separated is 3.
Yeah. Separated, yes, 3.
Separated 3. Then single is 1.
Yes, single is 1. Yes, thank you.
Okay, done.
Okay, great. Go and quickly do that one for skin lesion before you go and do that. Do the same for skin lesion. Is either yes or no. Yes, 1, no, 2. Skin lesion. Hope we are following. If you have question, please ask. Yes.
Sorry, sir, my network went up.
Okay. Went
I'm
up.
back.
Okay. Okay, who has okay, I just want us to so no, is there anybody, does anybody have the skin lesion something so that the person share? Does anybody has the skin lesion there? At least you have seen what I've demonstrated. Okay. Okay, Dr. Una. Hello? Okay. Dr. Una. Dr. Una.
Sir. Yes, I'm with you, sir. My network was
okay, no problem. Okay, let me Okay, let me just open my own. And okay, who else? Who else had the Dr. Lossie, are you back now? Dr. Tari?
Yes.
I don't want to.
I am. I'm doing my own.
You don't want to share with us?
Okay, I can.
And quickly do that.
I'm not done converting it. Let me share what
okay, don't worry. Let me share my own, but it will not take me time to this thing. Convert it. We will not even actually come. Okay, let me just open. Let's be. Oh, don't worry. We actually have the SPSS also here, but notwithstanding, maybe I share. Let me share my own. Let me share my own. I think I open. Yes, I open it. So yes, what we did. So I decided to sort descending. It's 2 you gave to me. I still retain the 2 because the female here, they want to be number 1. So I'm giving them number 1. So that's how to do the cleaning. Because I want us to use it, we are going to use it to do some demonstration now. The same file. This is the first file. I deliberately leave it as Excel. Though I have this copy of it, I've changed, but I leave it as Excel so that we can use it to know how to convert Excel to SPSS. Then this separator was 3.
3.
Single was 1. Because I see single was 1. So for our thing, for skin lesion, no was 2.
Okay.
Yes. No, yeah. There's sometimes also you can use 1 yes, 1 no, 0. Yes, but especially if you want to do logistics, you want to do regression. Okay, I think I finished doing that now. If you go to this place, just change them to numeric, the 3 of them. Now you need to label. That was what I wanted Dr. Una to do. We need to label. If we just do it like this now, we don't know what 1 means, right? So you need to label. Here now you come to, remember, under value. No, this is my sex. No, this sex I mean now. My sex, first, 1 female, or you say F, 2 male. Now, for marital status, 1 single, tap it there. 2 married. 3 separated. 4 divorce. Divorced. Great. Now for skin lesion, 1 yes, 2 no. So I don't know if I have saved it. Let me save it as SPSS now. Save. Vision 2. Because I had 1 there before. Oh, 3 self. When they start fighting themselves. Yeah, now. So now what I want us to do, I want to do a lot with this. No, can you see the way we sorted? That's when we say sorting. Can you see if I want to sort back this now? Look at serial number. You know, it was serialized before. But when we sorted, you sort with when it is scattered, but it doesn't really matter. If you want to sort it back, right click on whatever you want to use to sort it. Just say sort ascending or descending. If you say descending, you start from the highest to the lowest. Sometimes if you run the analysis, you just see one value is a sim, maybe one is empty. If you sort, the one that's empty will come up. You'll see, you'll be able to know the number. So you can see the essence of the numbering now. If there's any problem with any of these things, like this one now, anyone that has problem, let me delete that. Now, let us explore with this exploration. Let's run. This I don't want to do it. I want you to, one of you to do it. But when you refuse to, there's no, what do I call it? The services are not good for us. Many of you also do. Dr. Taiwo should be ready now. Dr. Taiwo. So if you want to analyze now, immediately you want to do maybe general analysis, you just want to know your data set. The first thing you want to run the frequency to see how to look. That's what we usually do. After we have done all those meaning sometimes there are some things you cannot still do or you cannot perfect it until you run the frequency to see the way the data are. There means value, missing value or whatever. So descriptive, you now go to frequency. You just say Control A to move everything. Then you can return the one you don't need. I don't need the serial number to run it. I just run. Can you see? It give me. Look at age. It just give me 18. The lowest one is 18. The highest is 56. Look at sex. 95 male. Okay, sorry.
Okay.
As I run it now, sorry. Yeah.
Oh. Your outfit yet.
Yeah, sorry. Can you see the output now? Have you seen it?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Which one? Yes. So, age. Can you see age? Do you run? You will see something, anything quantitative. It will just give a list. The reason being that a quantitative variable, there are unlimited number of value in between two given value. So you cannot say there are unlimited number of possible value in between two given values. So that's why you have a list. The categorical variable is categorized already. There are limited category, like look at sex. We know that it's either male or female. So even if there are 3 billion, it's going to be under male and female. Doesn't really matter. So that's one thing. Then look at marital status. We have 4 categories. Even if there are 5, no matter the sample size, everything will be categorized under 5. Skin lesion, can you see yes or no? My come and now see count, CD4 count. Because it's quantitative, just give list of something to go through. The same thing with viral load. Can you see nature now? So from this, you have actually done descriptive statistics for categorical variable. Because I can just pick any of the categories. I just go and put them in the Word document. You have summarized the female, 63.3% of them female. Male, 55, 36.7% female. Everything add up to 100%. And the sample size is 150. Simple. The same thing with marital status. Can you see? You can go and table it. Skin lesion. You can show it in any graph, whatever. You have already summarized categorical variable just by running the frequency. So you are not done with, you have not done anything. So somebody is making noise. You have not done anything for quantitative variable until you now say, okay, how do we summarize quantitative variable? Okay, let's look at the quantitative variable. Let's go and look at their mean, mode, and median. Somebody is it Una? Somebody is making noise. Please mute yourself. So we want to look at, the way to summarize, we summarize categorical variable using percentage. So frequency has done that for us. Then we now go to analyze, just go to descriptive. Don't like, Dr. Taiwo, is your end that is giving us noise. That's why I quickly on share to locate it. So you can see now. So you can go now. You can access some of or most of this icon either through the viewer window or data editor window. It doesn't really matter. Anywhere you are, you can access it. So look at analyze. I can access it from here. Just say descriptive. Then what I'm interested in is for the quantitative, the three of them: viral load, age, constitutive count, and viral load. Option here, it's already by default, mean, standard deviation, minimum, maximum. So just say okay. So when you say okay, look at it, just short table like this. It's able to give me the sample size for all of them. If some are missing, the end will not be up to. Can you see now? They will tell you the end is 140. All of them they're complete. Minimum value, maximum value. Look at the mean. Mean age, 33.2. Mean CD4 count, 493.98. Mean viral load, 474.26. And look at their standard deviation. So you can say, okay. But the only thing here, this one has not told us because it just gives us mean and standard deviation. It is when you compare with media, you know that if this thing is skewed or not. So for you to have the median, because sometimes you don't want, for age, you can go scot-free with it, okay? 33.2 plus or minus 7.5. That is the mean and standard deviation. So if you want to know the median and all those ones and the mode, you go back, you will not see that under descriptive. Go to frequency C. So it's under, can you see all of them are listed? Because the last time I did the frequency, this is what I did. So unless you log out of SPL, close SPS and reboot again. Anything you do for a particular function, when you go back, please, I'm in a session. I was expected to join the session. I'll call you later. I'm in a meeting. So you will see that the procedure you did last, what was there, you meet it there. So now, we did frequency last time. When you use frequency, it's just to run everything. So I return what I don't need this time. I don't need sex and skin lesion, yes, and marital status. I need only the quantitative here. I now click statistic. Can you see? Mean, median, mode, if you want. Minimum, standard deviation, minimum, maximum, if you want. They are all there. Even variance. Quartile, you do quartile to put quartile there. You know the reason? If something is not skewed, it's normally distributed. You present the measure of sector tendency is mean, you present. The measure of dispersion or variability, you present standard deviation. But if it is skewed, maybe the difference between median and mode, they are much. You need to present the median also. And when you present the median, people like it when you now present it. The median now, you are not presenting it as measure of certain tendency. People like you to present interquartile range as measure of dispersion. And it's this quartile I will give you interquartile range. The mean of the third quartile is just for you to give you 25 percentile and 75 percentile, because 25 percentile is the first quarter. The median, which is 50 percentile, is the second quarter. And the third quarter is 75 percentile, which is the third quarter. So let's click it. And okay. No, if you click OK, look at display frequency. It will see go and display all those frequency, that list of frequency. I don't want. You just uncheck it. You uncheck this frequency. Then you now say OK. Can you see now? If you didn't uncheck it, first you will do this one for me. Also run the frequency, just long frequency for them, which I don't want. So here you can see age. You can see the total value is okay. Wait, is it sharing? Are you seeing it? Are you seeing the result?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So yes. Now, where?
So no missing value there. Can you see? Each of them is 150, 150, 150. Look at the mean age. Look at the median age. There's no much difference. Well, you can say there's different. 33.2 and 32. So, and you see that it's skewed. So you see here, mean is greater than median. That shows that there's skewness to the right. Okay, I want us to discuss among ourselves. Dr. Olagunjoye. Dr. Olagunjoye, yes, please lead the discussion. Lead the discussion. One, ask question. Let's discuss. What will make me to be higher than the median? Let's just give me 2 minutes. Let me ease myself and press. Lead the discussion before I come. What will make me higher than the median from what we are seeing here?
Yes, for the mean to be higher than the median, please, is there anybody that would like to?
Maybe there must be an extreme value.
Okay, this extreme, would it be a big one or a small one? Would it be on the high side or on the lower side? Would you have higher values or lower values?
If the mean is higher, I think it should be higher.
The mean is higher than the median. That means there is right skewness. So if the mean is higher than the median and there is right skewness, it means that we have outliers that are high. For instance, if we have a sample of maybe children in year 2, and we expect that children in year 2 should be between, maybe for the early starters, children in year 2 should be like 6 years old to maybe 6 to 7 years old. Let's just say that's kind of small range. If we now have a child who is 13 years old, if we have a child who is 13 years old, it means that we have the 13 is going to skew data to the right. Does it make sense, Dr. Gunaya? If we're supposed, in a class, we expect a range of age 6 to 7 years in year 2, or maybe 5 to 7. Then we now have a 14-year-old or a 16-year-old in year 2. What that kind of value would do to the data is that it will skew it to the right. And in that case, the mean will now, because of that high value, mean will now be higher than median. Because of that high value, the extremely high value, that is the outlier, the mean will now be higher than the median, because the mean is the summation of all the values divided by the total number of values.
Yes, I agree.
Thank you.
But the median, just to add, I think the median itself is not affected by outliers as such. So it just tells us the middle value of all the data.
So the median is a measure of it's the average of average when data are skewed or when they are outliers.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Which one? You said median is the...
Thank you,
I didn't get that last part.
Yes, I said median is the measure of average. When data are skewed or not normally distributed, data are skewed. You have outliers like that age 14.
I see. Okay, yes. Yeah.
Mainly 6-year-olds. You now have age in that class. And that means that that median is like a measure of dispersion. It's still one of the measures of central tendency, measure of average. So then and that was why it was telling us that the measure of dispersion for that median would now be the interquartile range. Unlike mean, where the measure of average would then be the standard deviation. The measure of dispersion, would be the standard deviation.
Okay.
Yes, you get what he's saying? Now, this eraser, sometimes you want to, okay, I don't even know which one I want to use. Okay, now look at the, what Dr. Elgo was saying. I'm trying to, yeah. Now for this one. Okay, when the data, can you see? When the data is not skewed, it may not be so accurate anyway. Mean, mode, and median will be in the same place. You know, when we are talking of value, it's like a graph like this. This is the origin of the graph. That's what I'm trying to depict here. So you start measuring from this, the beginning. The zero start from here. It's going, no, it's increasing to this side. Decreasing to this side. So the height you are seeing is the frequency, the number in that category. So as the value, when something normal follow normal distribution, as the value of that thing increase along the horizontal, the people that have that thing, the people in that category increases in number until it reaches a point when it moves further, the number decrease down. That's normal distribution. And one side is the mirror image of the other. But it's not like what he said. If the skewness to the right, the one you first of all described, is this last one. In a situation where in a class where we have 6 to 7 year old people and 40-year-old person join them, you know, you calculate mean by adding the number together and divide by the total number, the number of them. Maybe there are 20 people. You now divide. So if somebody has bigger age, when you have it, will contribute much to the group. So when you now divide by number, it's jack up the mean. And the media is still, because the number, you are not using anything to calculate media. When you are arranging in ascending order, descending, the one in the middle, whether you have outlier or someone that they simply have as high value does not change the media, because the person that is in the middle is still in the middle. But because you calculate mean by adding everything together and divide by the number, if somebody come with extremely higher value, like the one is saying, in a class where we have 6 year, 7 year students, we now have something 14-year-old. What it will do now, it will jack up the mean. And it will give the impression that the mean is far bigger than the median. Whereas if something is normally distributed, even though the median is the middle value and the mean is calculated by adding everything and divide, in a normally distributed data set, the mean, mode, and median will be the same. So what we usually use to explain it, for example, adult, as we are adult now, if you want to know the average weight of adult, we know that if you gather about 1,000 adults now, plenty of adults, and you now say, okay, let's begin to know how many are weight 45. The adults that weigh 45 are not many. So if you know how many have 50, the people that weigh 45 are more than the people that weigh 50 are more than the people that weigh 45. As the value increases now along, the frequency, the number of people increases. The people that weigh 55 are more than the people that weigh 50. The adult that weigh 60 are more than the one that weigh 55. The adult that weigh 65 are more than the one that weighs 60. The adult that weigh 70 are more than the one that weighs 61. The adult that weighs 75 are less than the one that weighs, maybe less than the one that weighs 70. Now you see, it has reached a peak. It now started coming down. So the adult that now weigh 80 are less. The adult that weigh 90 are less. 100 are less. That's, if you now join those, it will give a curve like this. That's normal distribution. But in the situation, in that situation, normal distribution, if you arrange, if you now find out that the mean is 70, but if you even try to arrange all this 1,000 weight in ascending or descending order, you'll be sure that the person, either one person or two people, because if it is even number, two people will be in the middle. If it is odd number, one person will be in the middle. If that thing is normally distributed, that 70 that is the mean, the value, the person that will be in that middle will be that 70. And when we are talking of which weight occur more, because there are some value that occur more that record the value, we discover that mean that is 70, that is the median, is the one that most people have. So majority, when you look at out of 1,000, you can see maybe close to 100 or more than 100 that weigh that 70, because it's the one that appear most. That's why I say mean, mode, and median are the same when data is normally distributed. Then if they now have some extreme value, that extreme value is called outlier. If it is bigger than the rest, extremely, then we are talking of weight. Now maybe we have somebody that is weight close to 200. Some few people that weigh close to that, 120, 130, extreme weight. If they just come on board, what will happen is that the person in the middle, that 70 will still be in the middle. Because those extreme values, they are just few at the extreme value. The 70 will see the middle one. But it will just, since you are adding their value to and divide by the sample size, what will happen is that the median will still be 70. The mode may still be 70 also, but the mean will be greater than 70 because of the contribution of those with that way extreme value. That thing will flat towards the right. Can you see? Because the median will be here, the mean will be here. Most of the time, they usually say the median will be the value in the middle, mode will be here, median will be here, mean will be the highest, because this is the way it increases along the horizontal. So this value is the mean. And you see now, this value will be the mean. We are measuring along this line. This value will be the mean. The thing will flat to the right. But if, let's say, instead of you having people with extremely big value, you just have people that are mashy, straightly, their weight are so small, adult weighing 30 something, 40, 39, 40. So you now have some of them weighing that extremely low value. The median will still be 70 in the middle, but the mean will, because those ones, they are not contributing more, because since you are adding everything together divided by the total number, those ones that are contributing less, the mean is less than the median. That is outlier, negative outlier. So outlier is an extreme value that is significantly different from the other. If it is positive outlier, that is, the value is bigger than the rest, it will cause positive skewness, that is skewness to the right. If it is negative outlier, the outlier that is extremely smaller than the rest, it will drag down the mean, it will cause skewness to the left. They call it negative skewness. I think it's clear now. So the logic, what we just share, the result we just share now, once you just see that the mean is greater than the median, that is skewed to the right, that shows that there are some extreme value in that weight that are extremely bigger than the rest. That's what will make it. Maybe that there is an extreme value. So in that situation, you may quote the median also after quoting the mean. You quote the mean plus or minus standard deviation. But you may now quote the median and interquartile. Look at it, between 25th and 75th percentile. That's first and third quartile. These are the three quartiles. In our initial lecture, we talked about meaning of quartile. Quartiles are 3 lines that divide something into 4 equal parts. You know, if you want to divide something to 4 equal parts, it's 3 points that will divide something to 4 equal parts. Those 3 points are called quartile. Now, if it is you are dividing something into 5 equal portions, you need 4 points. Those 4 points are called quintile and quintile. They use it much in economics. That's why if you read our demographic survey, you see the first 20% when talking about wealth, first, second 20%. Okay, you know, if you 20 in 5 places, making 100. So it's 4 points that divide thing into 5 equal parts, 20%. But if it is quartile, 3 points divide something into 4 equal parts, that's quartile. That's why it's 25%, 25%, 25%, 25%. So 25th is the first quartile, 50 half in the second quartile, third quartile is the 75th. So the value that correspond are what they put there. The value that correspond here, the 28.75, then this one 832, then 836. So the difference between the two, when you say this to this is the interquartile. You may say it makes sense when you are quoting interquartile to put, don't go and remove it and say this one this minus this. No, just take the range. 25th, quote it, 75, quote it. If somebody want to now remake and see it, because if you just put a value from where to where, that's why if you are putting range, don't say the range is 30. No, tell us where it's from. Is this from 6 to 36? Because 6 and 36, the difference is 30. 20 and 56, the 26 and 56, the difference is 30. So giving just a 30 as the range does not mean, so you just give, if you give the lowest and the highest, one can minus and know the range. So they will have idea of where it starts from, where it ends. The same thing with the interquartile range. So can you see now? So when you are quoting the mean, you quote the interquartile range. If you look at the CD4 count, you see CD4 count, the mean is smaller than the median. From what we are seeing there, that one is negatively skewed. The viral load, in fact, that one is the mean is extremely higher than the median. Can you see? That one is positively skewed, like the age. So that's just the point I want us to look at here, so that we'll not dwell much on it. Another thing I want us to, if you don't have questions concerning that, is how do we, before we do the exploration, we'll go and do the exploration, but I want us to look at, if you look at it now, you have what we have done, we are able to run the frequency. You have summarized the categorical variable. You have seen the way we summarize the quantitative variable, coming with mean, mode, median. But of course, if it's not skewed, you code the mean and standard deviation. If it's skewed, you can code both mean and standard deviation, and also code median and interquartile. Some people, they even when it's skewed, they want you to code the median alone and the interquartile. But we have not solved all the problem, because for the categorical variable, you can actually bring it from the table. The table is a skin lesion. Just go and put it. But for the mean model, which table you still want to show, you may still want to show the way the age range, even the way the age, different age group. Want to group it? Let's do that one. How do we group that age? Of course, we have known the minimum. The minimum age is 18. The maximum age is 56. So it's you that determine how you range. You code. No, there are some things that are standard. Like for maybe they say They have done some study for CD4, there's a way they range it. You follow that pattern. Maybe for CD4, that the way they range, you follow it. But age, it depends on how it flows. You have to reason what is the lowest, what the people use. If the data set is not what do I call it? Is small. Maybe the sample size is small. You may have the luxury of whichever way. If the sample size is small, the age, because if you put small interval, you're going to have many sets that is scanty. But if the data is big, you may have small interval, and the range of the value is not much. So that in this category, you still have ample number. Okay, let's decide now. Like for this one now, we may say, okay, since we have 18 to 65, we may say, okay, less than 20, that's 18 and whatever is less from 18 to 18 and 19, less than 20, 20 to 29, 30 to 39, 40 to 49. But there are not many after that. You can just say 50 and above. So higher is 56, 50 and above. You make up your mind on how to do it. How do you do it? You go to transform. You go to transform. You now say code into different variable. Code into. There is an option there. Code into the same variable. Don't use it. If you use it, it will give you the age range and delete the original age you have. But to me, I don't even know why they allow the option there, because it's not supposed to be there at all. So you code into different variable. When you click it, you see, can you see? You see inside this board, input variable is going to output variable. What is your input variable? Is age you want to code. Age into. You now say into what? Put arrow into what? You now say your output variable, you want to call it age group. So immediately you can label it, just like the other one, you can label it. The age group will not allow you gap there, but if you label it, you can put gap. But you may not label it. Immediately now, you click on change to move this age group to that question mark. Because that, so age into what? It just change into age group. As you click on change, it move it there. So you are coding from age to age group. Now, what of your values? The value old and new. What are the value of the age that corresponding with a particular value of the age group? You now click old and new value. A different way, baby. The simplest way, just click on range. When you click on the range, that's why you should have idea of the lowest, because if you don't have, you may enter into problem, you may miss some out. Imagine if we have as maybe about up to even 15 years, and I just assume that these people of 14 years just start from 16 or 18. So sometimes if you are not sure, you can even put it from 0. You know that nobody, you have a 0, you can say 0. Then once I know the age, I can put 18. It has captured up. I can put 0. It doesn't mean anything. To 19, because less than 20. 19. You now call here and call it 1. When you call it 1, immediately this place was not highlighted. Immediately you call it 1. Can you see? The place highlighted. Can you see? Now add. Now come back and say 20 through 29. You call it 2. You add. 30, 39. You call it 3. You add. 40 to 40 through 49. You call it 4. You add. 50 to and above. You know the highest is 56. So you can put anything 56 and above. You can even call it 10. Say 5. Say add. Continue. Okay. You have created it. If you want to look at it, you go to your data editor window, you will see it there. Can you see? Age group. You know, whatever you do, it usually give it automatically to decimal place. I remove it. I don't need that to decimal place. Look at it. Can you see? Age group. That's giving you. Now, if you go and run the analysis, you will see it both is here, is showing here, is showing in variable view also. data view and variable view. The variable view is the age group. You give it some properties. And we know the age group is ordinal because anything you create for quantitative and is more than 2 categories is ordinal. But if it is 2 category, it's just nominal, it's dichotomous. But if it's more than 2 categories, anything created from quantitative variable is, it says it has already have order in it because it got an age group less than 80, 90, is, you know, it's less than 20 to 39. And 20 to 39 is less than 30 to 39. So anything that is from quantitative, anything you categorize from quantitative variable and is more than 2 categories, 3 or more, is actually ordinal. So now we want to analyze, we want to run it. Let's just run it, the frequency of that. You see something I want to show you. The frequency of age group I want to run now, this new age group. You click on it, okay. It's not running something, you remember. You remember what has happened now because when you are doing your analysis, okay, you're not even, I want you to see what is happening. You know what? When I did it, you know what happened? If you remember, we have unchecked the frequency. That's why it didn't run the frequency for me. You will now go and be giving me median mode. Something that is category. It's me that coded 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What do I need? So you have to go back and uncheck all those nonsense. And now click on the frequency. Now give you the frequency. Can you see? Give you the frequency of the. But the other thing, can you see? Give you the frequency of the. But what does 1 signify? 2, 3, 4, 5. You didn't label it. So if you want to label now, you go back to the data editor window. Go back to the data editor window and go to variable view. You now go and put under the value. 1 means less than 20. You had 2 there, because when we're doing 2 mean 20 to 29. You had 3 mean 30 to 39. You had 4 mean 40 to 49. You had, oh sorry, 4 mean 40 to 49. You had 5 mean greater than or equal to 50. You can put it better. You know, that sign, greater than or equal, you will not see it unless you put say greater than, now put it like this, or equal to like this, that, or equal to like this. But you can get it. What I usually do is that I open Word document. When I open Word document, I insert the symbol. I insert the symbol from, because it's in Word document of greater than or equal to. And now copy it from Word document and copy and go to my SPSS and paste it. Can you see? I've copied. Can you see? 50, greater than or equal to 50. So if I run it back now, if I run the analysis back now, just for me just to run it back, you see, let me share it. You see, can you see now? It has labeled it. Look at the value. Less than 20, it has put it there. That is how to. So when you have your quantitative variable, you want to now to put as a table, this is how you do. So it depends on, like if it is BMI and there's a standard definition, less than this, that you just follow it strictly. And you have to be careful. If it's something that have decimal, you have to be careful so that you don't lose data in between. So it can be done for anything. Then another thing I want us to do is we have categorized. Sometimes you want to categorize something to 2. It's not just, you know, this one we went to analyze, transform code into different variables. When you want to bring code you want to range quantitative variable into category more than 2, 3 or more. So the faster way, if it is just to 2, you can do it there, but you don't need to waste your time coming to do this one. If it's just to break it into 2, it's very simple. All you need to do, for example, now, let's do, for example, this issue of CD4 count. Or want to know age, a particular age greater than a particular value. Okay, let's just, for this CD4 count now, let's just look for a value. CD4 count, viral load. When will you say CD4 count is low? What is the cutoff? Is it 100 or I think they say 200? So the clinicians, when will you say CD4 count is low? I want to, like now, I want to divide CD4 count into 2. The one we have it. You're like the blood sugar. You know the blood sugar, you just have quantitative variable. And what you do is just blood sugar 126 and above, diabetic. We just select one greater than or equal to 106. Yes or no? The one yes is diabetic, you know, no diabetic. That is the way to do it. What is the clinician? What is the cutoff for what is low CD4 count? I want us to do it now. I want to do it. What is low CD4 count?
I think less than 350.
What do you say, sir? Less than? You are not talking, dog. Or mute yourself if you want to talk. If you are talking, you are needing to mute. I will not hear you. Dr. Shido. Ugo.
Sir.
What is the cutoff for the CD4 count? Anyway, let me just use any value. Dr.
Is about 200.
200, okay. What do you say, doctor? Less than 200, right?
Yes, then the low will not be 249.
Yes, sir.
Okay, anything less than 200 is low.
We changed now to 200. Yes, sir.
Okay, is it including 200 or less than 200?
Less than. It depends on how you want to categorize. There are 4 categories. So
no, we'll do that one later. If we want to do 4 categories now, we do it the way we did this page. I want something, I want to just one cutoff. So I want to demonstrate how to do it. When you just have one cutoff, like anemia and PCV, less than something is anemia. Or hemoglobin concentration less than maybe 15 is anemia. So something like that. I'm looking. I want to let us just use that 200. Demonstrate.
So less than 500 should be low. Then should be like your cutoff can now be 500. Greater than 500 is high.
Okay, let's say I CD4, but CD4 can you have high? You know, it's viral load. You can say you are talking of high, too high. CD4 can you be talking of too low? Because we expect our CD4 count to be high.
In viral load too, you have 3 categories. That is high, low, and very low. Ideally, there are 3 for viral load, 4 for CD4 count. That's ideally, but if you want just one cutoff, you can use.
Don't worry, me, I just want to, let me just demonstrate. Whichever I just want to, let me just demonstrate something. I want to demonstrate.
It is also important to know that setting it is still dependent on your hypothesis and what your research is.
You know what? Me, I don't want to emphasize that one.
Hello, sir.
Yes, I'm listening to you.
No, I was saying that setting this cutoff is still dependent on what your hypothesis is.
Exactly. Yes. Me, my own now is how
so it still depends on. So it could be different. It could be different. What's it called? Cutoff. So it depends on what your objectives are. So it's important to know that.
What I'm saying now,
and I think you know that.
I'm not going into the logic of. I don't want to go into the logic of this. My own is whatever cutoff. How do you, if you want to split something to do, how do you do it?
Good, yes.
That's what I want to do. Now, we want to split, exactly. We want to dictate low CD4 count as anything less than 200 now. How will you extract it? And we have value of CD4 count. So how do you know those who have low CD4 count, separate them from high one? It's the same way you separate, you use hemoglobin concentration to separate anemia from no anemia. The same way you use blood sugar, you separate diabetic from non diabetic. Just have a cutoff. And it's very simple. You just go to data. When you get to data, you click on select cases. When you click on select cases, you see by default, all cases, if you look at it. I think you are looking at it now. Hope you are looking at it. All cases by default is all cases.
Yes, yes.
By default, all cases. Now, you now click on if condition. It's all cases because that's why when you analyze everything. But when you say if condition is satisfied, that if under it is highlighted, you now click on it. Now give. So we are not saying, okay, if that's it. CD4 count, you move it in. You click on CD4 count, you move it in here. Is less than, it says less than. You know, here you have less than, greater than, less than, equal to, greater than, equal to. So it depends on what you are looking for. We are looking for less than. You just click on less than 200 and type it. You click OK. What it has done, this thing I just do now is used to do two things. The first one it is used for is to select those people that have that category, low CD4 count, to select them for further analysis. If I run any other analysis now, it's only for those ones that have low CD4 count. So if you want to know, if I run, okay, sorry, you are not, yes, now you are.
Sir,
are you seeing my slide? Yes?
I think you're a bit fast there, sir. Okay. From data, what did you click on after data?
Okay, let me do it again. Let me do it again. Yeah, it's not a casting tool. I say I went to data. Second to the last, select cases. That was why I actually want one of you to do it. In that process, I'll be telling you what to do. But when Dr. Taiwo, you are not saying anything, I want you to demonstrate. Now that your computer is okay. Hello? Okay.
I'm here.
I say I want you to demonstrate. So are you ready to share now? So if you now click on select cases, when you click, by default, what you see here is all cases. That's what will be there. You will now click on if condition is satisfied. When you click on it, there is a if under that is highlighted. You click on it. You know, before it was empty, it's doing that. So you now move, want to select CD4 count less than 200. You now click on CD4 count and move it inside. And I click less than, and I'll type it 200. Finish. Now click continue and click OK. You have selected. If you go and if you want you to see now, let's go to data editor window. Go to see. You see two things. Can you see the bar, the side now? Those ones that are more than, it has crossed them out because you see, select CD4 count less than 200. Anyone that has more than 200, 200 and above, they are the one that has crossed them out. You can see the line. And if you want to know, go to there. Can you see? There's something like filter here. Those ones that are less than 200, it has marked them 1. The ones that are more 200 or more, it has marked them 0. So you see this same thing. You see it in variable view. Can you see the filter? Yes, I mean now. So if you want to run analysis now, let's say I want to do skin lesion now. Let me analyze skin lesion. You see what will happen. No, there are 150 people. You see, it's only those people. It has selected only people with low CD4 count. So if I want to analyze skin lesion now, let me share the results. You may not see it. So can you see? Only 14. That 14, yes. There's no, because all the people that have low CD4 count, all of them have skin lesion. 14 people. There's no everybody that doesn't have skin lesion. That's why everything is yes there. So number one, only 40 people have low CD4 count, and all the 40 have skin lesion. So you use that select to even, just like if you ask a question, if yes, you ask the second question. When you want to analyze that second question, it is only people that say yes for the first one. You have to select first. When you select it, now run the analysis for the second, the other question. Because it is those ones that form the denominator for the second question. The people that say yes. There are some questions maybe, if no, it may ask this. Those ones that say no, they are the ones that, so when you're analyzing that question, if no, you ask a question. So then the people that say no to them, we select them like this. Does it make sense? That is one way of using that type of thing. The second way is that that was the original thing I wanted to do. I wanted to know those who have low CD4 count and separate them from those who are the other that don't have low CD4 count. In that case now, if you go to, it's already there. That ID for all you need to go to the variable view. That filter, just change the name to low CD4 count. Low CD4 count. That's what they are saying. Low, okay, CD4 count. Yes. So when you do that, you just remove this thing, because if you don't remove it, that mathematics that say select, that will be, you can use it under label. It will be serving as the name. I told you, whenever anything is under label, whatever is labeled there, that will, what will be showing instead of what is under name. So you delete it out. Then this one, if you look at it, what you see is 0 and 1, and it's labeled selected, not selected. The one that are selected are the one that meet the condition you said. Low CD4 count less than 200. So, and those are the people that we say low CD4 count. Instead of selected, you now change the name to yes. Change. You click on not selected and change the name to no. And please change. You have created a variable now. Low CD4 count, yes or no. That is how to create variable for diabetic. You just say blood sugar, you just say blood sugar, what is your blood sugar greater than or equal to 126? You just click, select, and move blood sugar there. And I say greater than or equal to. That's what I will not say equal to. Low. I will not say less than low or greater than low. Because that is it. I must know. There are some things less than or greater than, some see greater than or equal to, or less than or equal to. So blood sugar, greater than or equal to 120, I will just select it. I will now come back and now say low, I will now say diabetic. I will now change the name to diabetic. And now this selected, I change yes, not selected, no. I've created a variable diabetic to separate diabetic from other. Once I finish that one, somebody is asking question. When I finish that one, I will now go back to that my data and click on select cases and now say select all. Because if you don't select all, you want to do any analysis, forget about whatever you have written. Is those who you have selected for load, that those are the ones that will be selected. So you go and remove it. When you remove it, you automatically, you see, if you go back to your data editor window, you see that that thing that is marking crossing is no more there. So if you now want to analyze it, let's analyze it now. The low CD4 count. Descriptive, just go to frequency, low CD4 count. Can you see? Let me share. Can you see the result? Showing you. Can you see? Yes, is 14. No, we have already said it before. No, is 130. So the people that have low CD4 count are 14, which is 9.3%. So please, I want you to ask question. Me, I'm not so happy that today people are not involved very well because of Dr. Una Shukuta was involved and Dr. Tari because of network. So I want you to ask question on what we have done, we'll discuss. Any question? Okay, somebody have installed it and are we to use our lab? Okay, that's it. Go on.
Oh, I have done this. So that's why I already have an idea of most of the work that you're explaining. Hello?
Okay, I'm listening to you. Yeah, I've heard you.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, that's great. Okay, any other question? So she does.
Sorry.
Yes.
Duro.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm not quite sure what you did, and you said the lines, you know, after we split the data into low and high CD4, the lines on the numbering, how did they go off? I was not clear on the explanation for that.
Have you done your own? I tell you were running it concurrently. Okay, look at what.
Yes, but mine is still there, so that's why I'm wondering.
Let me tell you where you go to data.
Okay.
You go to under the second to the last option, select cases. You click on it, you take it to the, you know, it was all cases before until we now see select like this and now do all this abacadabra. So as long as it's still like this, you didn't go back to all cases, the line will still be there. I don't know if you understand.
Okay.
Yes, that's look at it now.
Yes.
The line will still be there as long as you didn't look at it. I return
go back to all cases.
And let's go back to all cases. I think all cases should be analyzed. So it didn't cancel anyone again.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So sorry, what am I doing? I want to go back to any other question, please.
Yes, sir.
Go on.
Nachiku, sir. For the interpretation, I don't know how to call it now, the view where you see the frequency tables and all the results. Okay. The output, yes, the output area. If, for instance, you've done something and you think it is what you did was wrong, is there a way of deleting it or from the output table? Is there a way you can clean it off and redo it again?
Very well. In fact, me, I don't even save output. You know, you can. What I usually do is that once I have too much output that it will make me to be destroying, I just cancel it out. I will close it. When you close it, do you want to save? No. So when you run another one will open for you. I don't know if you understand me now.
Okay, sir, I do, sir.
Many people say save your app. I say, well, the data is there. You can always run it. You get a vision. You can only run it there. I don't save any. Though you know, the light say is so because their own is command. Most of the time it's command. So you may even forget the command you command yourself. So that's why they say you should save. But this one, this person is point and key because it's the graphical user interface is highly developed. That's SPSS. So yes, Tari, you wanted to talk?
No, I'm okay.
Okay. Somebody say, how do you present this in Dakota range, median? It's very simple. Median, you put bracket. You have put Dakota. No, you can you know if it's a table, you have median one. The next line you can put Dakota range. Or in your decision, let me just show you some because this thing I like to be practical about it. Let me just show you. Imagine, okay, let me share the word. Can you see the something now? maybe I have a table. Sorry like this. If I say I put median, see median, you can put in bracket interquartile range. Can you see now? So when you now put, you say that is 32 as your median, you can interquartile range, you can just say is 6 to 40, whatever, or maybe 20 to 40 rather. I'm sorry. You can say 20 to 40. Of course, now, just give you an example. Of course, your lower quarter will be less than the median. The higher or the upper quarter will be greater than the median. After all of them are quarter, the median is second quarter. This 20 is the first quarter. The median is second quarter. And the 40 is the third quarter. Do you get the logic now? So you can pretend like this. Just like the way you know the mean, that one, if you don't even put mean, you just say mean. By the time you say is 30 point plus or minus, no, plus or minus 5 or 4, plus or minus 4. No, this one, even if you don't even put standard deviation, everybody have assumed that when you quote the mean, you quote the standard deviation. You don't put mean plus or minus standard deviation. Yeah, just say mean. The one you are seeing that is 30 plus or minus 4. But this quantile range, many people may not be familiar. You can write it like this and now put it. And not many people also are so particular. I can just quote median because you see, let me tell you, mean, median, and mode are measure of certain tendency. When the data set is not skewed, it's normally distributed, they have the same value or very, very close. So in that situation, because the mean is the most useful, because it's the one that is most useful for advanced statistics, after all, is even the one that carry everything along, because it's the one that is calculated from all the, that involve all the observation for the calculation. It's more, if all of them are the same, that's why it makes more sense to quote the mean and the standard deviation to quote the mean. But in a situation we now know that the mean and the median are different because there's skewness. For you to be able to understand very well, to me, is to quote the mean standard deviation and quote the median also. So by people seeing it, people will know that, oh, this data is skewed because the mean and they don't have the same value. So when they say something is skewed and somebody now say just quote only the median and the interquartile, it doesn't make sense. So it's good to quote the mean also quote the median. You can now put the interquartile range better. To me, is some requirements. Many people come with crazy ideas, and everybody become authorities. Even when they if most of the things we say we write in an article, everything is valid. It doesn't need to change. But what they are saying, the latest innovation today, in the next 5 years, is become outdated. So we will be flexing muscle. And that is why Disraeli, the former Prime Minister of UK, he said there are 3 kinds of lie: lie, damn lie, and statistics. All those things, that's why if I read article, whatever, I'm not interested in your conclusion or whatever. I'm interested in the result and the way you did it. I can make my own conclusion for the result I see. Because some people will be seeing it, so they interpret something else, things that have no meaning. They bring out what they want to bring out from the result. And you'll be quoting, this one at all, find out that you're telling lie. And if you use that type of result to take decision, you waste your money. And that was why Disraeli said that, because he has been Prime Minister, many people that have brought evidence, and they wasted money, nothing happened. Okay, Any other thing? Should we see this now? Because should we continue or we stop here? Because by tomorrow now, what we want to do now is to now explore. Okay, we have not done something. See, I want splitting file. Maybe we should do that now. Or because I'm not happy that people didn't participate very well, because it's not me that's supposed to be doing the running, it's you, so that you get to know it very well. So I want to get to play. Should we do splitting or should we take it tomorrow? Dr. Bariweni, the people that want is Dr. Shidozie Nashuku and Dr. Bariweni. Those are the people that want them to learn their voice. And Dr. Toby,
I think we are tired now. I am tired. Let me
I guess that's why I'm. So if you leave me, I can.
So we can continue tomorrow.
12 midnight. Okay, no problem.
We can
but at least we have learned something today.
No, very great. At least significant ground has been covered.
Okay, yes.
So,
don't worry.
I want to commend you for.
More ground will be covered tomorrow.
Yes.